Visions from Bocce's Place. Pete Domenici, U.S. Senator retired, served as New Mexico's longest senator from 1972 at 40 years old to the end of 2008 at 76 years old. During that time, many historic changes occurred. The United States ended its involvement in Vietnam, but continued to engage in the Cold War throughout the 1970s and 80s. Engaged in regional and international military efforts, the First and Second Iraq Wars, and the Afghanistan War. The economic, technological, and social changes that occurred from 1972 to 2008 are too numerable to count. Cell phones, computers, internet, iPads have accompanied the rise of China and the fall of the Soviet Union and the return of Russia and an independent Eastern Europe. The Middle East, with its oil and religions, ethnic and political changes and challenges, impacts the world daily. Viewing the world from 1972 and moving forward within this unique position he held throughout those years, Senator Domenici constantly maintained and developed a vision of the future, acted on that vision, shaped the future, then recreated and renewed that vision, and acted upon the recreated, renewed vision, while what was envisioned as the future became the present and then the past. During his boyhood, Pete Domenici was known as Bocce, a nickname given by his Italian parents after a bocce ball because he was 10 pounds at birth. He continued to be called Bocce by his close friends and family throughout his life. However, when he took office in 1972, through his retirement in 2008, he was Senator Domenici. I talked to him recently as he sat in his study, Bocce's Place, at his home for the last 20 years of his Senate career and since his retirement in 2008, located at 120 3rd Street, Northeast on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. The Economist magazine sits on a reading table next to a chair in front of the flat-screen television served by cable hookup. Senator Pete Domenici, retired, spends his time watching Fox News and other programs and basketball while reading The Economist, economic and political articles and books, often biographies. Tomorrow he will take a cab to his office at the Bipartisan Policy Center and continue to work on and share his visions. I asked him to describe his life since retirement. For many years, my stock in trade as a politician has been a unique and perhaps enhanced ability to envision a future and determine a course of action that will impact that future, whether by avoiding pitfalls, taking advantage of opportunities, or building infrastructure that allows opportunities to come to light and grow. My essential current role in the political policy world requires me now more than ever to focus on what I call the big picture issues for the future of the United States. I gather information from a variety of sources, and then I develop a knowledge base that allows me to try to influence economic and fiscal policies to impact the future of the standard of living and financial viability of the United States. As he sits in Bocce's Place, he says, "I am now pessimistic about the future. I have been very upbeat for most of my life. However, I think it could go either way in the next 25 to 30 years. I think the United States could be on course to become a second-rate world power, struggling with internal difficulties and obligations, or we could pull out of it with real leadership that will require a path of individual responsibility and the ability at both the individual and political level to deal with hard, necessary, and difficult decisions. The fiscal condition is what we as a nation need to do and do not have, such as infrastructure and social programs, and to prepare and provide that with wealth generated by our way of life and our political choices." He says, "I, along with others, work on gathering, analyzing, and sharing information on these issues and what to do with them. I am a sideliner with lots of information. Age has not diminished my vision. In fact, Experience has made a difference and taught me many things. I am better at envisioning the big picture now, perhaps than ever, and certainly than when I was younger. I thank my dad for his discussions about his visions, future, present, and past, and ended our discussion with him sitting in Bocce's place, continuing to struggle to see the big picture and analyze the options that he has, given his status, to shape and impact his vision of the future as it becomes present.